Yes, good morning, friends. My dear students, good morning. I hope you all are well at your places. Fine. So, during this semester, again, we will follow the online mechanism of study. This time, during this semester, I will teach you a subject principles of communication engineering. Now, before discussing the topics, introduction, need of modulation, frequency translation, demodulation in communication systems, and basic scheme of a modern communication system. Let me convey you one message. Message, as we all know, we are facing this pandemic situation across the world, across the country and the state as well. And Chief Minister of Punjab, Sardar Captain Amarinder Singh, he gave a message that students should be aware of all these things. So, to avoid from this deadly coronavirus, we should use some precautionary measures like you cover your face with mask so that other person may not be affected, or you may not be affected by the other person. Suppose accidentally you are in contact with the COVID-19 patient. So this mask will, even though it will be a temporary measure, but it will save you somehow. Then sanitize your hand for cleanliness so that germs or other bacteria can be killed. And of course, keep a social distance so that there should not be any physical connection between you people during this pandemic situation. And for the public awareness of your family members, awareness of yourself, must download the COVA app. Fine. So this is what the message given by the government. I am conveying the same to you. Now we will start uh, principles of communication engineering from first introduction. What is communication engineering? Before that, what is communication otherwise? Communication, this is nothing but it is a oldest branch of electronics field. And if you want to communication at the far end, then this term includes telecommunication, means communicating at a distance. So communication, if you want to convey your information from this end to other end, that end may be a short distance, maybe a one end of the state, maybe one end of the city, maybe one end of the district, maybe one end of this country, or country to country, or continent to continent, intercontinental. So then we have to use some other means. Those means are nothing but electronics means, and on the basis of the electronics means, electronics communication system is required, which can convey the information from one place to another. Fine. So different types of information. Now, what kind of the information can be? Information can be your thoughts, your ideas. Fine. Your it can be a sound, it can be a picture, it can be a music, or it can be a computer data. Fine. So if you want to convey this information towards from transmitting end to the receiving end, so we need a communication system. Fine. But sound, picture, music, computer data, or other non-electrical quantities uh, uh, like temperature, pressure, force, humidity, if you want to convey such information, or sound, pressure, picture, music, or computer data, if you want to convey this information from one end to another end of the communication system, this cannot be possible as it is. You have to convert this into a electrical equivalent form. So information can be transformed into a electrical equivalent form. Fine. Then it can be transmitted in the form of electrical, because electronics communication system is nothing. It is using electrical means to convey the information from one end to the other end. Fine. And before discussing the basic communication system and its importance and the other terms associated with the communication engineering, let me tell you the uh, evolution of this communication engineering field. This engineering field of this communication engineering started from uh, 19th century. It was developing rapidly in the 19th century, then in 20th century. Now we are in the 21st century. Of course, this has a rapid advancement in the field of communication. Those days during 19th century, first telegraph, telephone, and radio waves were invented. Then this development was still faster in the 20th century when first black and white TV, then color TV brought in use. Fine. Then the age came of satellite communication, cable TV, mobile telephones, and of course other advanced communication systems. So, in order to understand this subject completely, let us should become familiar with the basic concepts of communication engineering, like what is modulation, what is noise, what is demodulation, and what are the information and information theory as well. How this information signal can be termed as modulating signal, message signal. Fine. So, what is the importance of communication? As I already told you that information communication is nothing. This is the process of exchanging the information from one end to another end. Information, it can be your ideas, can be your thoughts, it can be your feelings as well. And communication between the human beings, it can be a verbal, it can be a non-verbal. Fine, it can be via body language, it can be your face expressions, it can be written words. But communication, for human communication, there are two main barriers. One is distance, another one is language. And nowadays, distance problem is somehow we have solved using long distance communication. And this human communication again took a dramatic turn in the late 19th century when electricity was discovered. As I already told you, let me tell you how many different scientists has developed given their inventions in the field of communication. See, these are the important inventions in the field of communications. Uh, during, I mean, 19th century and during 20th century, number of scientists, they have invented, I mean, a different field of communications. Morse, in 1844, he has invented telegraph. This is a telegraphy is the process of communication. During 1876, telephone was invented by the Bell Laboratory, USA. Then 1887, Hertz was the scientist who has discovered radio waves. And with the invention of the radio waves, field of communication has started, in fact, rapidly. So during the end of the century, 19th century, I mean 1895, Marconi demonstrated a wireless telegraphy. Previously, it was with the help of uh, wires. I mean, then wireless telegraphy was invented. And during the first year of 20th century, Marconi again made a first transatlantic radio transmission. Then during 1923, television was invented. And during World War II, all the European companies, all the European countries and other advanced countries were fighting with each other. Direct confrontation uh, between human beings is the war between direct confrontation between human beings in those advanced countries. It was beyond. So just to know the enemy's position, their targets, they how to eliminate the enemy's target. So they had invented another advanced system, radar. So the radar was invented during World War II so that they can get the information of enemy's area. During 1954, color TV broadcasting begins, and during 1962, first communication satellite was launched. So this was the number of communication field which was invented by the different scientists during 19th century and 20th century as well. Nowadays we are much familiar with the radio, TV, electronic communication. They have increased our ability to share information and have become very popular and important part of our lives. You know, we are getting good information through radio, through TV, and we are increasing our ability, and this information we are sharing with others. Fine. from radio, TV, and from other means of communications, we are also getting knowledge and information. This is coming to pouring in our and from different world of the corners due to what? Due to only electronics means. So, of course, when the knowledge and information is coming and pouring in from all corners of the world through the electronics communication means, of course, this has changed our society, where it was and where it is now. And we are part of this information society, and key part of is communication. And without electronics communication, we could not apply use of available information in a timely way. As I am giving information to you of principle of this particular subject, I am teaching you through online mechanism. So this is one of the communication example of the communication. This is the modern communication, and this is the online communication rather. Fine, online mechanism study. Previously, during this pandemic situation, we are not having no other alternative than the online mechanism. Now, what is communication system? What are its base various elements? How all those elements are playing their important role in electronics communication system? See this block diagram of modern communication system. Now, in fact, it has major three parts: input, transmission channel, or we can say medium, then a receiver. But at the input, information or input signal, that can be a sound, picture, speech, data, or it can be a temperature, pressure, humidity, or acceleration, velocity, or a flow of any liquid. If you want to convey that information from this end, transmitting end to the other end, how it can be possible? Because it is not in electrical form. So sound, picture, speech, data, and other information we cannot directly transmit from with the help of this modern communication system as it is. So we have to convert it into electrical form, for which we need a first stage of the communication system is input transducer. Here transduction process is involved. Transduction, the role of the transducer is nothing. It can convert one form of energy into another. I mean non-electrical to electrical, because we need electrical energy. So this is a electrical, electrical equivalent of the information. Okay, and this is we are giving to the transmitter. And transmitter, role of the transmitter is a thing. It will get this information, and in transmitter, transmitter, it's a block, but it is consisting number of stages. Now it is an analog communication. Here information signal is required, but if it is going as it is without modulation, then this can be a baseband transmission. But if we have to convey this information up to a longer distance, then we have to use this electronic communication system. Okay, where antenna is required for space, because electromagnetic waves will be radiated, and at the receiving end, this information will be captured by the receiver, then it will be demodulated. So modulation is required if you want to convey this information up to a longer distance. So transmitter, we will discuss in the coming chapters of modulators, what is in fact a transmitter, what are its various stages, how transmitter is playing a role for transmission. Okay, of course, information signal, when it is amplitude, when it will be modulated one, then it will be amplified, and finally it will be transmitted. Transmitted through the channel, and channel can be a channel or medium. It can be a communication channel, can be a wireless, or it can be with wires. So if it can be with wires, this communication termed as line communication. And with wires, wires can be a metallic wires, it can be a coaxial wires, it can be any cable, or it can be optical fiber cable as well, or it can be a waveguide as well. What kind of transmission, what kind of signal you want to transmit, depending upon the types of the frequency. I mean, for low frequency, then ordinary wire is required. For high frequency, where radiation is the problem, then coaxial cable is required. if you want to transmit a huge data, I mean, where large uh, number of users are there, they want to transmit it, their entire information, then we need a one channel or the medium which may accommodate all such users. It means that a channel may offer huge bandwidth. So optical fiber is the alternative. And waveguide is also a high frequency, it is also meant for high frequency information signal, right? It can act as a medium or it can act as a channel. We will discuss in higher classes all those waveguide and optical fiber communication. And of course, space can also be a medium where we need a transmitting antenna, and at the receiving end, we need a receiving antenna. But in channel, this noise, it gets added. This noise, this is a undesirable feature in communication. Once it is added in analog communication, it cannot be eliminated completely, although it can be controlled with some different techniques, but it cannot be eliminated in completely, especially in analog communication system. Now if we are using a digital communication, there this noise can be controlled by introducing parity bit or some other coding techniques, where error first it can be detected, then it can be corrected afterwards. That is why digital communication is a better communication than the analog communication, but on the expense of large bandwidth. Fine. So this is about communication channel, medium, and noise. And then output of the communication channel, I mean medium, it is again, receiver is again getting information in electrical form. Now here, if it is a baseband transmission, directly it can be in the same form. Fine. I mean, it will be in the electrical form itself, and receiver can receive the actual information of the signal. But if it is being modulated, uh, if transmission is a modulated one, then of course here a demodulator is required, or detector is required, which can separate the high frequency carrier and receive the original signal, and finally it will be feed to the output transducer. If you, because at the input end you have transmitted sound, picture, speech, and data, and this is original information. So at the output end we also need original information like sound, picture, speech, or data. So output transducer is required. And let me tell you again examples of input transducers. For input transducer, like microphone can be input transducer because it converts your sound energy into electrical energy. And of course, camera tube can also be meant for picture elements. I mean, your picture elements can be converted into electrical signal. Of course, sound will be frequency modulated over there, and while transmission, and picture elements, when it will be converted into picture signal, it can be amplitude modulated. That we will discuss in higher classes. Fine. And at the output end, this speaker can be output transducer, your receiver can be output transducer, even like a like a TV receiver, that can be a, or even monitor of your computer, that can be a output transducer, because it is conveying you, it is giving you original information as it is, as you are getting from the input. Fine. So these are the various, elements of the basic communication system, which involves first what is information signal, and then it if it is a, it cannot be transmitted as it is, it has to be transduced with the help of the transducer. Then electrical information has to be, if it is a baseband transmission signal, then it can be transmitted as it is. But for baseband transmission, I will tell you in the next section um, how baseband transmission is not possible. Baseband transmission, I mean, it can be possible for certain medium only, but not for the radio communication. For if you want to convey through baseband signal through radio communication, we have to use modulation, and that is why the need of modulation is required. That I will discuss in the next section. Fine. So this is what we have discussed, the various elements of the basic communication system. Fine. We are as I already told you about communication channel, that can be wireless communication or it can be a we are also terming it as a radio communication, and it can be a wire communication or line communication. Already told you, for line communication we need wires, conducting wires, cables, optical fiber, or we need a waveguide. Fine. But for radio communication we need a free space. Fine. And in a radio communication system, we use a free space as their communication medium. They do not need the wires for sending information from one place to another. This is what we have already told you. Radio or TV broadcasting, satellite communication, even mobile. Look, this mobile is the best example of wireless communication. Okay, of course, about radio, you will be you will become familiar with the radio and radio receivers, radio communication during this semester also, but much become familiar with in the coming, in the next semester, fourth semester. TV broadcasting, of course, it will involve audio, video, and consumer electronics will become familiar with the TV broadcasting in fifth sem, and of course in satellite or other types of higher communication you will become in the higher semesters, means fifth or sixth. Okay, for transmitting, for radio communication we need a transmitting antenna, which is the transmitting electromagnetic waves through the free space. Okay, where at the receiving end we need a receiving antenna which can pick up the signal and it will feed to the receiver. So radio communication can be used for long distance communication, such as from one country to the other, or even from one planet to the other. So this is a long distance communication. Through radio communication, we can achieve this target. Now, as I already told you, that this is a random and undesirable electrical energy. Rather, it is unwanted. Suppose I'm teaching and students are sitting before me. Some students are making noise. That is unwanted for me, because I am a transmitter. It will introduce in me. Now I have to increase my power. I have to increase my sound, means as the volume of my sound. Similarly, at the transmitting end, we have to increase the power level of the transmitter so that signal may reach at the far end. But that is not the only option. Okay, as I already told you that in electronic communication system, if this unwanted electrical energy, which is random in nature, if it is added in the electronic communication system, it cannot be eliminated completely, although it can be controlled up to certain extent through different techniques. Okay, that we will discuss in the coming sections. Fine. But in digital communication system, this noise can be controlled using parity bit, using other kind of codes, and that is why in a digital communication, quality of the signal is much better than the analog signal. And nowadays, we are in the era of digital communication, because in the country, the message of the Prime Minister that we want to make India as a digital India. Fine, digital country. So all the processes, now I'm conveying you this information through digital communication only. Fine, this is an example of online teaching, is an example of digital communication, right? At the receiving end, already told you that it is exactly opposite process of transmission. A received signal, first it is amplified, then it is demodulated, then it is converted into a suitable form, because we need a original signal. Output transducer, already told you that if you have transmitted from the transmitting end sound or picture or some other information, at the output end we want original information. So output transducer is required for transduce the electrical output of the demodulator stage into the original one. Now, this is basic information about the basic modern communication system. What are its various stages? What are the different technologies? I have told you briefly. Then how we can classify the electronics communication system? Electronics communication system can be classified as, It can be unidirectional, it can be a bidirectional communication. See, if you want to convey your information from one end to other end only, stop. It is a one-way communication. Then it means it is a unidirectional communication. But if one end is transmitting, another end is also receiving, but another end is also transmitting. That can be simultaneously also, but not simultaneously also. That comes under bidirectional communication. So that is why systems are classified as simplex. And of course, half duplex is a bidirectional, but it is not simultaneous communication. And fully duplex communication, of course, it is a bidirectional and simultaneous communication is possible. Solid example is a telephone. Through mobile phone, as I'm talking, you are reciprocating, you are talking, I'm listening you, I'm reciprocating. This is a two-way communication. Fine. Then I will discuss in after giving you an examples of simplex and of course half duplex and full duplex. Okay. Now let me tell you another kind of communication system. Then second is, it is depending upon the nature of the input signal. What kind of the nature is? Nature of the signal, signal can be analog in nature and it can be a digital signal of nature. I mean, it can be the signal, nature of the signal can be digital. What is analog signal? Analog signal is nothing. It is continuously varying with the function of time. It is a continuous function of time. I mean, its values are varying continuously with the time. This is what analog signal is there. And in this world, like sound, picture, variation of our sound is varying. Sometimes it is dim, sometimes it is having a high pitch. Similarly, vibrations are similarly picture. So these are the examples of analog. Fine. But in a digital, based on analog signal, analog communication systems is there, and based on digital communication system is there. But what is digital signal? It is having only two levels, 1 and 0. I mean, 1 means high level of the signal and 0 means low level of the signal, and it is converted into the form of pulses, high and low, and it becomes a digital signal. Through this digital signal, when it is being transmitted after modulation at the receiving end, we are getting the information in the form of combination of pulses or in the form of code words. Fine. Then third technique of transmission of electronics communication system is nothing. Already told you in while discussing the basic block diagram of the communication system, what is baseband transmission and what is a communication through modulation. So baseband transmission signal is nothing if you are transmitting the signal as it is. Okay, but it's having certain advantages and disadvantages also that I will discuss after this. Then another techniques of transmission under this, if you want to convey your information up to a far distance, I mean, if you want to, if longer distance communication is possible, that can be possible through modulation only, and modulation can be analog modulation, and we will discuss number of analog modulation techniques in the coming chapters, and I will give you some brief introduction even during this particular part of the introduction. Okay. So already told you what is simplex. Simplex system, already told you, this is a one-way communication. Examples are radio and TV. They can transmit only in one direction. They cannot receive. Okay. Another examples of simplex communication is information transmitted by the telemetry system of the satellite to the earth. You know, a satellite is a advanced communication system. That is a celestial body. Whatever all the communications lying on the earth, those are called terrestrial bodies. Okay. Celestial body. Satellite is having a transponder, and then a telemetry system is also there. So telemetry system is giving some information. It is sending information to the earth. In fact, telemetry system is transmitting information about itself, about its physical status of the satellite. I mean, what is its position and what is its present temperature. So this is a one-way communication. That is a best example of simplex system. What is half duplex? Half duplex, again I have told you that it is a bidirectional. It is a, this can be, information can be transmitted as well as received, but not simultaneously. I mean, they can transmit as well as receive, but not simultaneously. Uh, as these systems can transmit or receive, for example, a transceiver or walkie-talkie system. These are the examples. I will tell you more number of examples in the next, section. Direction of the communication alternates here because it is a bidirectional. Radio communication such as those used in military, firefighting, citizen band radio, and amateur radio. These are the half duplex systems. These are certain examples of the half duplex. Let me tell you in a military communication why it is a bidirectional. Suppose I'm an army officer. I'm sitting at Jalandhar. Want to convey an information at Srinagar. There is another army officer who's getting me. So if I want to convey my information as a army personnel, I'm suppose Captain Professor Jaswinder Singh, Captain Jaswinder Singh, want to convey my information. Number of vehicles are which are carrying ammunition. They can be, you can receive them at Baramulla place. Fine, over. Now I use the word over. It means my transmission is stopped. Then he will reciprocate me by transmitting his information. So he will convey his information. Fine, Captain Jaswinder Singh ji, I will receive the consignment as you have already told me. Fine, over. This is a two-way communication, but not simultaneously. So this is a half duplex system. Fine. More number of examples I will give you in the next section. Full duplexes, it is a again bidirectional system. It allows transmission in both the directions. These systems can transmit as well as receive, but simultaneously. Remember the word simultaneously. At the same time, you can transmit, you can receive. Transmission and reception is possible at the same time. For example, telephone is a best example. Mobile is a best example. And of course, through this communication, full duplex communication, bulk of electrons communication is possible in two ways. Fine. The best example already told you, the telephone system. Okay. Already told you classification based on the nature of the information signal, that can be analog or digital. Already told you. Classification on the basis of techniques of transmission. This can be a baseband and it can be communication system using modulation. Now let us discuss some baseband signals and baseband transmission. What is this? Here information or input signal to the communication system that can again be an analog. Analog signal can be a sound or picture, or it can be a digital. Okay. For example, digital data we are getting from computer. If it is not digital, but you want to convey the digital information, but you are having analog information, then you can use A to D converter. Fine. So electrical equivalent of this original information is known as baseband signal. Fine. So in some systems, baseband transmission system, baseband signal, original information are directly transmitted. Already told you. Examples of these type of systems are telephone networks where, let me tell you, where sound signal converted into electrical signal. Suppose you are making a telephone call to someone else, you are producing a sound, your sound is converted into electrical through the telephone system itself. So it will be put onto the telephone lines, fine, for transmission, for making a local calls. Another example of the baseband transmission is the computer data transmission over a coaxial cable in the computer network. Suppose one computer transmit its information to the another computer. That can be possible through the computer, through the cable itself. That means the original information as it is will be transmitted to the another system. But these are this baseband transmission is having certain limitation. This cannot be used with certain medium. I mean, it cannot be used for radio transmission where medium is free space, because your voice signal, when it is in the electrical form, it cannot be travel a long distance in air. Suppose I'm giving you lecture in a certain room. Here it is a closed environment. If I will speak very loudly, my sound may be reached up to 100 meters or say 50 meters, but it cannot travel a long distance. Fine. Now, if I want through the space even, so that is why this regional information which is called a baseband signal. Um, this is a medium dependent, so it cannot be used for the radio transmission where medium is free space. This is because voice signal, as I already told you, cannot travel a longer distance. Why? It can be attenuated on the way itself. At a short distance, it can be attenuated or suppressed. Fine. So now if you want to convey this baseband information through the radio, you need a modulation. And that is why the first topic of this book is need of modulation. But before that, what is modulation? We will discuss. Now, communication system using modulation. Now, best example is, now, suppose if I want to go to, I'm in Jalandhar, I want to go to Bangalore. You know, Bangalore, why walking? It's not possible for me. It may be possible, it will take more than 1 month, but that will get a huge time. What's the role? Fine. Now, if I want to convey this information through some other means, I mean, like this is a best example. See, one person is driving a car, another person is driving a motorcycle, riding on. Fine. This car and motorcycle, they are acting as a carrier. But the person who is driving the car, who is riding the motorcycle or driving the motorcycle, he is the information. This is the information. So for modulation, we need two signals. We need two signals. One signal is which contains the information. Which contains information, of course, it can be of low frequency, it can be analog in nature, it can be digital in nature, that depending upon the type of communication system you are using. I mean, if it is an analog communication system, signal of the nature of the information signal can be analog. Now, if you are using a digital communication system, nature of the signal will be a digital. Fine. This signal, if you want to convey it, if you want to transmit up to a large distance, fine, you need another signal that is called carrier signal. That is again sinusoidal in nature if it is analog. Fine. And in the coming chapters, we will also, especially in digital communication or in PAM, EWM, or PPM, where we are calling it as pulse amplitude modulation, pulse width modulation, or pulse position modulation. Their carrier will be different than the sinusoidal carrier. I will tell you later. So here, nature of both the signal will be sinusoidal, but information signal will be of low power and low frequency. It contains information. We are calling it as a message signal. We are calling it as a modulated signal. We are calling it as a information signal as well. And carrier signal is a frequency signal. Now, as I already told you, want to go to Delhi, want to go to Bangalore, you can use, information is same. You can use the means, different means of carrier. Like car is a carrier, motorcycle is a carrier, train is a carrier, fine, aircraft is a carrier, and another means of transport is a carrier. Now every time its carrier is being changed, fine. Similarly, if you want, but the person who is sitting in the car, who's sitting on the motorcycle, who's sitting in the train, okay, making his journey through train, or the person who's traveling by air, fine, person is same, information is same, but it is being carried by the carrier. Carrier may be different. Now here carrier is a signal. So how it can be different for the information signal? So we have to look, we have to see the characteristics of this signal. See, characteristic of information signal is, if it is analog in nature, fine, it has an amplitude, it has a frequency, it has a phase. Similarly, three characteristics of carrier is also amplitude, frequency, and its phase. Fine. So every time, if carrier is first characteristics means amplitude of the carrier signal is being varied with the amplitude of the instantaneous value of the amplitude value of the information signal, then amplitude of the carrier is changed, its characteristics is changed. This change in amplitude is conveying information from one end to the another end. The process is modulation. What kind of modulation? amplitude modulation, because amplitude of the carrier is being varied in accordance with the instantaneous value of the information signal, which is called modulated signal, especially its characteristic is amplitude. Fine. Now another, so this is one characteristics of the carrier signal, that is amplitude. Another characteristics is frequency. Now again, if frequency is being varied with the instantaneous value of the amplitude of the information signal, modulating signal, then frequency modulation will come into the picture. I mean, frequency modulation is the process variation in the frequency of the carrier, then information is being conveyed. Fine. Third characteristics of the carrier is phase. If phase is being varied in accordance with the information signal, its instantaneous value of the amplitude of the information signal, if phase is being varied, then phase variation showing that information is being conveyed. Fine. This is this variation in amplitude, variation in frequency, variation in phase of the carrier in accordance with the instantaneous value of the amplitude of the modulating signal, I mean carrier information signal, message signal. This process is called modulation. Fine. Why it is required? Why it is required? What is the need? Let me tell you. Need of the modulation. Fine. This another topic is the need of the modulation. Now, in fact, it is the first topic of this particular introductory part. But before that, about communication, about basic communication system, some terms, some terminologies, some technologies associated with the communication system. So that is why I discussed with you. Now, modulation is the term I will discuss. I have already told you what is modulation. Now, what is the need? Why it is important? Why it is required? Why we want to modulate the signal? Already told you, for baseband transmission, signal is being transmitted as it is in the original formation. Fine, but it will be suppressed or attenuated. It will cover a short distance. Fine. Now, if you want to cover a large distance, if you want to get a longer distance communication, want to convey your information to the other continents, to the other countries, fine, then modulation is required. Fine. On modulation is required to convey your information up to a large distance. Fine. Baseband signals can be transmitted directly. Why we need to use modulation? This is what I have expressed. Answer: baseband transmission has many limitations which can be overcome using modulation. Just now told you. In the process of modulation, in fact, in modulation, what happened? Baseband signal is nothing. It's the original signal. I mean, electrical equivalent signal of the information. My information signal is an electrical form. This is a baseband signal. Fine. So, in fact, baseband signal is a translator. It is shifted from low frequency to high frequency. With what? Because baseband signal is having low information. It is having a low frequency and low power. Of course, it contains information. But that is why. But it is being carried by the carrier, which is having a high frequency and high power as well. That is why it is being translated. I mean, shifted from low frequency to the high frequency. And this frequency shift is proportional to the frequency of the carrier. And modulation process, this translation is nothing. This is a modulation. Fine. What is its advantage? Why it is required? For transmitting up to a large distance, we need an antenna. And if we will not modulate the antenna, of course, antenna height will not be reduced. We need a huge infrastructure, huge metal, huge other associated parts. So that will be a huge structure. Fine. So here, if we go for modulation, height of the antenna can be reduced. Fine. How it will be, I will let you know. Then another advantage is you can avoid the mixing of signal, that I will tell you. Third advantage is you can increase the range of communication, means up to a large distance of communication through modulation it is possible. Of course, multiplexing is also possible through the modulation process. Now, I am the only person which is conveying my information. If number of users, if number of sources are to be transmitted through the electronic communication system, then we have to use the multiplexing technique. Although it can be analog or it can be digital, that we will discuss later. Now, how first advantage of the modulation, how we can reduce the antenna. Transmission of the radio signals, antenna height must be multiple of lambda by 4. This is what discovered. This is what experimented. So antenna height must be a multiple of lambda by 4. What is lambda? Lambda is the wavelength, and mathematical relation is lambda is equal to c by f, where c is the velocity of light and frequency, f is the frequency of the signal which is to be transmitted. Fine. How we can achieve the minimum height of the antenna? Say if a baseband signal is having 10 kilohertz. Now put this 10 kilohertz in this particular mathematical expression. Minimum height is nothing. Lambda by 4 is equal to c by f. 4 is then 1 by 4 is the involved area. So it can be put here also in the right hand side. So c by 4f. C is nothing. It is a velocity of light in 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. It is in meter per second. If it will be kilometer per second, it can be 3 into 10 to the power 5. It means 3 lakh kilometer in 1 second. Or if it is in a centimeter, it can be 3 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter per second. So multiples of 10. I mean 10 to the power, it can be varied depending upon depending upon how you are considering it, in meter or in centimeter or in kilometers. Now this frequency is in kilohertz. This can be 10 kilohertz. After calculating this, you are getting the minimum height of the antenna, that is 7,500 meters. In kilometer, it can be 7.5 kilometer. Look, this height of antenna, is it practically possible? No, not at all. Height of 7.5 kilometer antenna. See how much metal, how much infrastructure is required to install such a huge antenna. It's not possible. So what to do? What are the other alternatives? Then modulate it. Now I have increased the frequency of the modulated signal. It is 1 megahertz. Now put this 1 megahertz as f. Now see the calculation. We are getting the minimum height of the antenna is 75 meter. Now this height, we can say it is possible to install such antenna. This is practically possible. That is why modulation is required, and why antenna of the height is reduced using this modulation, because we have increased the frequency of the modulated signal. How? Second advantage, how we can avoid the mixing of the signals. Say I am getting three kind of signals, three signals. The frequency of the three baseband sound signal frequency is same frequency. Now if I'm getting from different transmitters three baseband signal which is having the same frequency. Now if I want to transmit these signal, this will be mixed. Okay, these signals get mixed together and receiver will not in a position to differentiate all these. So separation is not possible because all the signals are having same frequency. How the receiver will differentiate that this particular signal is from one transmitter, another one is from second transmitter, and third one is from third transmitter. So receiver will be in a difficult position to separate them out. Okay, how it can be differentiated, how it can be made possible? You assign the different carrier frequency for all the baseband signals. See, as I assigned in this example, signal 1 has assigned a carrier frequency of 300 kilohertz. Okay, this baseband signal, this carrier of 300 kilohertz is modulated with first signal. Okay, means carrier is modulated. Then another one as 200 kilohertz carrier is modulated with this second signal, and third one is 100 kilohertz carrier is being modulated with the third signal. Look at now, there are three channels. First is having 100 kilohertz carrier, second one is 200 kilohertz carrier, and 300 kilohertz carrier of the third one. Okay, and This is each baseband signal is used to modulate a different carrier. They will occupy different slots in the frequency domain, different channels. You know, these are called the different channels. Now receiver will distinguish, receiver will separate based on the different carrier frequency. So it will be possible at the receiving end to separate out the signals. Means first one is belonging to 100 kilohertz because 100 kilohertz is carrier is assigned, and second one is 200 kilohertz. This can be differentiated. Third one is 300 kilohertz. The third receiver can, receiver can differentiate the third carrier frequency. Okay, but this is possible through modulation only. So we can avoid the mixing of the signal. And another advantage is we can increase the frequency of the signal. We can increase the range of the communication. Uh, you know, baseband signals, the frequency of the baseband signal is low because it contains information. Information signal is having a low power and low frequency. If it is being transmitted as it is, it will not travel longer distance. It will be attenuated or suppressed at a short distance. Okay. So, attenuation can be reduced with the increase of the transmitted signal. We can have a, we can get a longer transmission. Longer signal can travel longer distance. So, modulation process increases the frequency of the signal to be transmitted. Hence, this can increase the range of the communication. So, through modulation, range of the communication can be enhanced. It can be increased. Longer distance communication can be possible with the help of the modulation only. Another advantage is multiplexing. Through multiplexing, through modulation, multiplexing is possible. Number of users can multiplex number of two or more signals, or number of other signals can be transmitted over the same communication channel. Means many into one can, same wire is carrying number of channels. At the receiving end, it can be demultiplexed. Fine. So that can be possible with the help of the modulation. At the transmitting end, modulation, multiplexing is possible with the help of modulation. At the receiving end, demultiplexing is possible with the help of the demodulation process. Fine. See, so many TV channels can use the same frequency range without getting mixed each other, or different frequency signals can be transmitted at the same time. Of course, with the help of the modulation, if you go for modulation, if you go for modulating the carrier, it can improve the quality of the signal. We are having an example of FM, FM radio, and the radio. You all the students and all the persons are familiar with the systems. All the persons are familiar with the systems. They are, uh, when you are using a amplitude modulation, the way the medium wave broadcasting is possible, but through FM, but through medium wave propagation, we cannot have a good type of good quality of signal. Like I'm getting 873 kilohertz. See, if on the radio I'm tuning 873 kilohertz frequency signal, okay, that is a carrier. See, if I'm talking, ये आकाशवाणी जलंधर है, मैं प्रोफेसर JS खेड़ा आकाशवाणी जलंधर को ਤੁਹਾਡੀ और मुखालफत हैं 343.6 मीटर यानी 873 किलो हर्ट्ज पे मैं प्रोफेसर JS खेड़ा आपकी ओर मुखालफत हूँ. What does it mean? 343.6 is a wavelength and 873 kilohertz is a carrier frequency which is assigned to this particular radio station. Now, from the radio, if I am tuning this particular frequency, channel will be selected and you will get the reception of the signal, but it is not of good quality as signal is amplitude modulated and medium wave propagation is there. Fine. But in FM, see, FM, you are getting a good quality of signal. In the coming section, when we will discuss frequency modulation, I will let you know what is frequency modulation, how the quality of the signal can be improved with the help of FM modulation, what are the various standards for FM modulation, that we will discuss in the coming section. Fine. So different types of modulation systems can be possible. Modulation can be analog, it can be digital. And analog modulation can be further subdivided into amplitude modulation, angle modulation, pulse analog modulation. Of course, amplitude modulation is again further subdivided into 5 categories. I will let you know in the next chapter. Okay. But today, for your introductory part, you just become familiar with what is analog modulation system. Let me tell you, this can be amplitude modulation. Here, amplitude of the carrier is being varied. Fine. And in angle modulation, uh, frequency and phase modulation is the part of the angle modulation. Of course, frequency of the carrier is being varied with the instantaneous value of the amplitude of the modulating signal, and in phase of the carrier signal is being varied in accordance with the instantaneous value of the amplitude value of the modulating signal. Then third category of analog modulation system is pulse analog modulation system. Pulse, it is again subdivided into 3 categories, because here carrier will act as a sampling frequency. Now sampler is a circuit which is generating a frequency, but in the form of pulses. So here pulses will act as a carrier. I will let you know in the coming sections. So if the amplitude of the pulse is being varied with the help of the, in accordance with the modulating signal, amplitude of the modulating signal, then it is termed as PAM, or pulse amplitude modulation. And if width of the pulse is being varied in accordance with the amplitude of the modulating signal, then PWM, pulse width modulation, coming into the picture. Then PPM is nothing, it's a pulse position. Here, position of the pulse is being varied in accordance with the amplitude of the instantaneous value of the amplitude of the modulating signal. Here in PAM, amplitude is being varied of the pulse, information is being conveyed. Here in PWM, width of the pulse is being varied, information is being conveyed. And in PPM, position of the pulse is being varied, position of the pulse is being varied, information is being conveyed. Of course, this is what about analog modulation communication system. We will discuss all in the coming chapters, fine, during this semester. Then another type of the modulation system is digital modulation system. Digital modulation, of course, as I already told you, if the information is in digital in nature, if digital in nature means if information is in the form of 1 and 0, that information you can get from the computer. Even if it is in analog in nature, that can be converted into digital with the help of A to D converters. Okay, that you will study in digital electronics, and of course in digital communications as well. Fine. Having 2 types, pulse code modulation. Of course, its advance is differential pulse code modulations, where you can have a good quality of signal at the receiving end. And another type is delta modulation. This is again a delta modulation is a digital modulation system, and its advanced version is adaptive delta modulation. We will discuss in the last chapters of this particular book. What is analog modulation? As I already told you. Okay, digital modulation, already given you examples. Okay. Applications, long distance communication, such as communication between Earth and spaceships, means celestial bodies or maybe terrestrial bodies, is possible through modulation only. Okay. Telephone systems and long distance communication, that can be possible with the help of the digital communication as well. Now, how amplitude modulation? Let me show you through diagram. This is a time time domain diagram of the amplitude modulation system. You will get easily, you will understand this diagram. Okay, look at the first diagram, upper one. This is a baseband signal which we are having, which we are calling it as a modulating signal. This contains the information signal. It is having a low frequency and low power as well. Okay, now look, it is not it, for your simplicity, for conveying you easily, I have taken it from, not from zero value, rather from here. So here this part of the signal is absent. Another signal is carrier signal. Look at the number of cycles. It is having large frequency and of course a large power. The amplitude of the carrier is EC. The amplitude of the modulating signal, first one is EM. Now third one is, look at, this is amplitude modulated signal. Amplitude. Now amplitude of the carrier is modulated. Look at the amplitude of the carrier. See, where amplitude of the modulated signal is absent, the amplitude of the carrier is remaining constant. Fine. It is, as in the second figure, you know. But as I am increasing the amplitude of the base signal, I mean information signal, modulated signal, the amplitude of the carrier is also changing. From at this part of the lower part of the modulated signal, amplitude of the carrier is decreasing. Fine. So what is being varied? Amplitude of the carrier. Now this variation of the amplitude of the carrier is getting information, is conveying information. Look at, this is called envelope. Fine. The where amplitude of the carrier is increasing, the maximum value is called, see, amplitude of the carrier is increased by the amplitude of the modulated signal. Both are added. Here at minimum value, the amplitude of the modulated signal is subtracted. I means carrier of the amplitude is decreased by this particular value, EM. Fine. See, where modulated signal is absent, the carrier remains same. It is unmodulated carrier. And where the signal is present, baseband signal is present, okay, amplitude of the carrier is being varied. This is how graphically in the time domain I have told you about the amplitude modulation signal. I mean amplitude modulation system. Look at the frequency of the, see, amplitude of the carrier, as I already told you in the beginning of this lecture, that amplitude of the carrier will change, but other two parameters, frequency and phase, will not change. Those two parameters will remain constant in AM, in amplitude modulation system. Fine. What is frequency modulation system? Here, look at the diagram. Fine. Unfortunately, it is missing over here. I will give you, it is missing over here. Fine. I will give you in the next lecture. See, frequency modulation and phase modulation, that I will let you know in the coming section. I mean in the coming lecture, or maybe next lecture. As I already told you, that what is PAM, PWM, PPM. Look at baseband signal is again a sinusoidal in nature. It is a continuously varying analog signal, and sampling carrier signal is nothing. It is a sampling function. It can be produced with the help of a sampler circuit that you will discuss in the last chapter of this book. And sampler is a circuit which is producing samples. Look at the number of samples per second, number of pulses per second. It is giving a frequency and the time period of the frequency from on to off. This is a total time period of the sample. Fine. One sample, I mean one pulse. How now, as amplitude of the modulated signal is being varied, the amplitude of the carrier is also varying. This is called PAM. Amplitude of the pulse is being varied. and here in second case is width of the pulse is being varied. Fine. This is PWM. This is what about today's lecture. Now, uh, digital communications, as I told you, that PCM delta modulation, their advanced version is DPCM, differential pulse code modulation, and delta modulation, adaptive data modulation, that we will discuss in the last chapter of this book. Advantage, of course, advantage of digital communication we will discuss next lecture. And I will make you familiar with the electronics, electromagnetic spectrum, and advantages of digital communication over analog communication in the next lecture. Fine. So I think today this is enough information for you. We have discussed a introductory part. What is communication? What are the basic elements of the modern communication system? What are the various terminologies? What are the various technologies associated with the basic communication system? What is modulation? Why it is required? What is the need? What are its advantages? Okay, and what is amplitude modulation system, digital modulation systems? Fine, and other modulation systems we have discussed brief. So in we will discuss in the coming lectures elaborately all those lectures. Fine. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. Thank you very much.